Okay, here we go. Good morning. So I'm going to give a short update on what we did with the NLNOG ring last year. Since, well, the ring was running Ubuntu 18.04, which was about to go end of life, so no security. Oh, too neat. Sorry. Yeah, that's the trick. Like this. So yeah, Ubuntu 18.04 was going end of life. So we need to do something to have security updates and have the ring secure. So our plan was to upgrade everything to 22.04, which was the obvious next release from Ubuntu. And well, the first step we did was make sure that we could provision new ring nodes, which was not that hard. We had to do changes in some of the Ansible playbooks we use so that we could provision them because well, some services changed, some configurations changed, stuff like that. We had to redo some scripting because Python 2 scripts were used on the old ring, and well, Python 2 isn't available by default on Ubuntu 22.04. Wasn't that hard either, so that was the easy part. But then, how do you upgrade like 600 nodes all over the world? That was a bit harder. So how would we do that? Could we just do that manually? Well, that was really out of the question because, well, that would take so much time. We would never be able to do that. We could ask the ring owners to do it, but that would still take us a lot of time because we had to contact every single owner, hope that they will be able to help us in time. So no, that wasn't really an option either. So maybe reprovision everything then, or ask the ring owners to do that. Bit of the same problem, we still need to contact all the owners. So, not an option either. So, well, we had Ansible, so let's use Ansible. And basically, we wrote a script that upgrades 18.04 to 22.04, but with one small challenge. You can't do that in one step. You have to go 18.04 to 20.04 to 22.04, because in one go you can't do that. So we did 2 upgrades instead of 1. And what we did was do first via playbook trigger the upgrade from 18 to 20, reboot the node, set a cron job that after reboot the upgrade is triggered again to do 20 to 22. Well, and if that's done, we have a working 22 node and everything is cool and we have profit. It wasn't a bad plan. Roughly 3/4 of all nodes upgraded without any issues from 18.04 to 20 to 22. But yeah, that still left us with about 100 nodes with issues. And those were challenging. We had nodes that crashed on all sorts of reasons after rebooting. Broken grubs, networking issues, you name it, we've seen them. We had nodes ending up in boot loops, where the Ubuntu do release upgrade command actually didn't do anything, but our playbook had said, please reboot after you do release upgrade. So the node rebooted, tried to upgrade itself again, failed, but the reboot job was still there, so boot loops. And one of the challenges we had was small /boot partitions, and that was really an issue on a lot of nodes. Since the start of Ubuntu, or the start of the ring, kernels have grown a lot, and by default the older Ubuntus had really small /boot partitions where you couldn't even fit 2 current kernels anymore. So we had to ask a lot of owners to either grow the boot partition or, well, reprovision the node. That meant that we had to do a lot of manual fixing, asking ring owners to help us out with stuff, especially if the nodes were unable to be contacted. And for us, often the easiest solution would be just reprovision the node. Give us a clean Ubuntu install and we'll kick off our installation scripts and we're done. And of course, then you run into a few new challenges. One of the hardest ones is getting no contact with the ring owners. Quite often, we got no response. Addresses of the contacts we had were bouncing. Well, basically, the nodes were on autopilot and no one knew about them anymore, because that was the other problem. In some networks there were ring nodes, but the employees left there who set up the node and nobody knew anything about the node anymore. So we had to tell them, well, there is this machine in your network, and no, we're not a customer, but can you please reprovision it? And that is sometimes a bit challenging. So a request for all ring node owners. Keep your nodes as standard as possible for your organization. So, and that basically means document them in your ticketing system, in your content management database, in whatever you have to register your tools. Don't make it this secret virtual machine hidden somewhere on a place where nobody knows about it. Another thing is please add ring admins to your customer contact database, because in a number of cases we just couldn't contact the email addresses we had because we got an out of bounds, sorry, you're not a customer. Yeah, that's not really helpful. And if you have any updates on your customer information, please contact us so we can fix it in our database. Final results after, well, a few weeks of a lot of work was that we, well, basically were able to recover most nodes. I think we lost a few, but not that many. And the good thing is we tried contacting people via email, via IRC, mailing lists, stuff like that, and it actually brought us new nodes, so there's an upside to it as well. Well, as I said, even with all the automation in place, it was a lot of work, so I would like to thank all the Ring volunteers for helping us out, because, well, it really took us a few weeks of a lot of work. And also thank you to all the Ring owners for helping us, for making it easy for us to upgrade the nodes. Well, the final results, well, nearly no nodes lost. Everything is running 22 now, new nodes, and sadly no profit. But we have a secure Ring still. Small new problem we encountered on the upgraded nodes. The SSH server running on Ubuntu 22 is a lot newer and deprecates some SSH RSA signatures. And that means if you have a very old SSH client, you may get a connection refused result if you try to connect to the server. I've sent an email to the Ring user mailing list about this. We have received quite a number of questions about it. The solution is either upgrading your SSH client, which is a smart thing to do anyway. But you can also use a different key type like ECDSA. And should you be unable to log into your Ring node, please contact one of the Ring admins and we help you out. So, where are we now with Ring? We have 629 even Ring nodes currently in 507 ASNs. Nearly 500 organizations, 59 countries. Now, as you can see, we're mostly balanced to the West, which isn't that surprising because, well, we're an NLNOG. We mainly communicate on the local or regional fora, on RIPE events, stuff like that. But there's still a lot of countries we don't have nodes in, and of course, countries is one thing, ASNs is another. So if you run a network and willing to help out, please consider applying for a Ring node. One other thing I wanted to talk about is about IRR Explorer. There were presentations on it last year on what you can do with it. Just a small reminder, it helps you out figuring out differences between routing registries and actual routing tables, RPKI data. So you can figure out if there are any problems with your prefixes being announced or not being announced. In the example you see, I still like to use this one because it's pretty clear what it does. The famous Cloudflare DNS prefix, as you can see, the 1.1.1/0 is everything is good. There's RPKI, there's a valid route object, and it's visible in BGP. And then you see that there are a few smaller prefixes, /32s, in the RADB database, which shouldn't be there. And still are there. Or sorry, they were in, no, well, yeah. They've been there for years. If you don't use it, try it out. Check out if your prefixes work properly, if you have any problems with that. We currently see about 1 request per second on our platform. A number of people have used the JSON output to automate their monitoring of their prefixes. Something you may want to consider. Last year we did some improvements on IR Explorer. We had a few issues with stale data or outdated information, which is, well, pretty, it's not wanted because, well, you want to see the actual current status, and if we're not properly syncing one of the databases, that's a problem. A number of software fixes have been made to improve synchronizations. We did a complete reinstall of their setup. So new Ubuntu, new Python, new Postgres, IRD, IR Explorer with the latest fixes. And that seemed to improve this. Should you be experiencing issues with a prefix where you think data is stale, please contact us. We have a few databases which notoriously are not that good in updating their data, which makes it for us hard to synchronize, but we think it's much better now. And most of the problems are gone now. That was my part of the presentation. I'm now going to give the mic to Cas, because he's going to tell a bit about our social stuff. So.
So I have a quick few updates about our social channels. The first one is that after the big Twitter/X debacle back in May, we decided to join Mastodon. So if you are on Mastodon, you can follow us at NLNOG at mastodon.nl. And something else, Natalie already mentioned, we noticed that the people active at NLNOG is a pretty stable group, and we're really happy about that. But we also want to attract some new people to NLNOG, and we're finding that they have a lot of struggles finding their way to us. So we decided that we wanted to be where the people are, and we started looking around where these people are active. And we noticed it's mostly at Discord. So we decided to open a Discord community, and we're really happy to announce that today it's gone public. So you can scan the QR code on the left, or go to RC and then click on the link. And you're welcome here. The tooling, like you know, Pitbot in RC, is still a work in progress, but as Natalie already mentioned, the Q&A can be done from Discord at the NLNOG Day channel. And one important thing I want to note is that Discord won't be replacing RC, so don't panic. RC will still be around for quite a while. So that's the update. Now I would like to give the word to our beloved host, Niels Raaijer.